This is the team that, if deployed, will get Forest European football this season. And there isn't a whiff of a back five anywhere near it. Welcome to Wolverine's Dream Team. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome finally to Wolverine's Dream Team, as the squad will be announced tomorrow. I think it's well overdue that I put my neck on the line with the team that I would go with to take Forest to the glory heights of European football. And I ain't talking about the Euro Trash Cup. I could see Forest doing even better than that. Please don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And you've got till Thursday to get your signed Joe Worrall shirt from Football Prizes. The link's pinned in the comments down below. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I am going to show you my two teams, one for home and one for away, and I want you guys to have some fun with this and argue back with me. Firstly, can this team get into Europe? And secondly, am I crazy, or would you agree with the team? And what changes would you make if you disagree with it? So there's going to be some names taken off. It has to be. At the end of the day, only 11 players can make the starting 11. Shock horror, that's why it's called 11. So let's get into this, and let's start with my away team. All right, so let's get into my team. I'm going to start with my away solid team. I'm going to give you two formations, as I said. And this one, I'm going to run through the defense on it because honestly, guys, it's not up for debate. The keeper, look, I'll say whatever. I'm going to put Vlachodimos in for now. But if you want Turner, cool. I'm not that fussed. Centre backs. I'm sorry, all the Worrall fans and everything, he's just not consistent enough. He's not going in for me. It's got to be the best looking man in football. Felipe comes in, and alongside Niakate. Now, we know this partnership works. The other thing we forget is the weapon of the throw-in. Once Niakate has got minutes in his elbow, he'll be back on throw-in duties, and we know what a weapon that was. We became Nottingham Forest, you know? We got to utilize that weapon. At left back, Einar for me by default. I don't want Tavares anywhere near the team until he proves himself to be decent for me. And I'm going to go right back. It's between Montiel and Aurier. I'm interchangeable, but I'm going to put Aurier. That's my back four. I honestly think that's our best back four. Who would I like to add in there? Bolly and Murillo for me would be the next two in line. Can't quite fit him in. So if Felipe was injured, I'd bring Bolly in. If Niakate was injured, I'd bring Murillo in. That's my back four. I'm not messing around with this BS back five. I'm just sick of it. Okay, let's get into the midfield where things start to get interesting. And number one name on the team sheet for me is going to be Mr. Marquis himself, Ibrahim Sangare. He's going to come in and play as the complete six for me. I still expect him to get forward. But because he does have a bit of attackingness in him as a number six, you're going to have double and triple pivots. I'm going to go for the 4-3-3 formation. And I'm going to bring Danilo in. I know he hasn't played that well at the start of this year, but he's been playing too deep, and I want to release him a little. And I'm going to put Dominguez next to them, and that's going to be my away midfield three. That is a brick of a midfield. That is, you just can't penetrate that. It's too strong. I like it. And what you're going to have happen if Sangare goes forward, Dominguez drops in into the six. If Danilo goes forward, then Sangare holds, Dominguez plays up here, or they can interchange. This looks to me to be very, very fluid. And I like the look of that a lot, especially away from home. So that's the one I'm going for my midfield three. Now, up front, easy peasy, Awani, the hottest striker in world football right now. And I'm going to put Elanga for me on the right-hand side, not the left. I'm going to put him on the right-hand side because I know he's been bad at the start of this year, but he's still my boy. MG Dub out on the left with license to float into the middle there. That's what I'm going for, because what you're going to find in this formation is with the bricks in midfield, these three absolute warriors. You're going to free up Einar to push up and Aurier to push up, and then hold almost with a two-man back line. And then what that will do, that will allow MG Dub into the middle with Einar overlapping. Dominguez is a left-sided floater in terms of what side of the pitch he gets into. And you can still have that overload on the left hand. Oh, I like this team. I like this team. And that's why I'm going for that, because there's balance all around for me. So this is my team number one. Look, some of you will hate it. Some of you will love it and be like, yo, that needs to go as the home team formation as well. But for me, this is my away team. And this one, I'm telling you right now, if we play this away from home, granted, forget the big six teams at the moment. Outside of that, I look at this team and think Forest can match or beat a lot of those teams. Obviously, it will depend on the style of play. Will there be, you know, a freedom to express themselves, a freedom to attack given to them from Cooper? I mean, will Cooper even go for this? I doubt it. But tell me in this team, apart from the goalkeeper, who you don't like in it, let me know. Now, what I will say, if Forest need to go a bit more defensive, say we are playing a big six team away from home, the switch I would make would be to take one of these guys out, maybe a Dominguez. And what I would do, I'd bring Danilo across here on the left. I'd put Sangare in almost an 8, and I'd bring Santos into the 6. This is your more defensive one, but still with bricks in the middle, but a full anchored holding player in Santos who would be told to sit back, protect the back four. And that to me is brilliant. He could probably even drop in between the centre backs if required. And then you would still get Danilo going up and down, and Sangare will naturally go up and down, be it if he's playing in the 8 or the 6. And I like it. I like it. Argue with me on that team, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's go for the big reveal. My home team, the team that will get Forest the most points this season. And this team will be very exciting. And I'll tell you now, it's going to be attacking. Look, the back four for me stays as it is. Niakate and Felipe, warriors. I do expect a few injuries from them this season. Not so much, hopefully, Niakate, but Felipe, at his age, he's going to get a few creaks. I mean, that's what people who are in their 30s tell me. As a 21-year-old, I can't comment. Anyway, that back four is staying the same for me. And I'm going to switch it into shock horror of 4-2-3-1. Now, so many people tell me we can't play with a two-man midfield. We can't play with it. We just haven't got the players for it. We do now. We really do. And my 2 would be, of course, Sangare as the complete 6, as I call him. And then it's between Dominguez and Danilo. We'll come back to that one. I'm going to put Morgan Gibbs-White in the hole. I'm going to put Awani up front, of course. And then I'm going to bring in Elanga on the left-hand side. In fact, I'm going to keep him on the right-hand side. And I'm going to put Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side. Why? Because I feel longer shots, he's better than Elanga. And if you're right-footed, I've always found, and well, personally for me, and watching Hudson-Odoi, he likes to cut in to shoot on his right-hand side, that finessed shot from the edge of the box. He's got that in his locker. So I'd put him on the left-hand side so he can cut in. I think his finishing is better than Elanga's. So that for me is your attacking 4. Now, in terms of who would partner Sangare, take your pick. Take your pick. Depending on how high or not they are in the league or how sweaty you think they're going to be, my gut feeling says Dominguez is the guy for it. Why? Because he's used to a two-man midfield. And that team there looks fantastic. You know, special mention has to go to Danilo. It's between him and Dominguez for me in that two-man midfield, because then Danilo would have the license to get forward. I just like it. And then look at your bench now. Look at your bench. You got Yates, who I think is a great impact sub, will come in, especially if it's one of those dogged games, can come in and really put in a shift. You've got Mangala, who I think is being harshly dealt by me here because I haven't even mentioned his name yet. And I really do rate him as a good all-round midfielder. So those are your options there. And obviously Santos, if you need to lock it down. I think that's great. And in terms of what you've got on the bench, you've got the wooden bench itself. I wouldn't use him. Origi would be the guy I would bring on instead of Awani, who's probably going to, start to tank a little with about 10, 15 minutes to go, whatever. Not necessarily in every game, but you have those options. And I just think this would be a sign of intent if Cooper was to start deploying teams like this, even if we took a couple of L's, yeah, it's worth it because we will beat the majority of the crap that is in the Premier League with this team. And this two-man midfield of Sangare and Dominguez is just beautiful. It really is. And it would work. Trust me, I'm a limo driver. Anyway, so I like this team. The only change I'll be like open to debate on would be Turner and Vacademos. Not too fussed about that. And probably Montiel and Aurier. Let's see how Aurier goes. I don't feel he started too well this season. But what do you guys think of this team? This is my home team. Argue it with me. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. All right, guys, so there you have it. Those are my two teams that I guarantee you will get us into Europe this season, if, of course, they are fielded and the mentality is a positive one from the way they're set up tactically from management. But do you agree with those teams or not? Yes, I know. Get them in the comments. Yates didn't make my team. Worrall wasn't in my team. All those type of players. I get it. But let me know if you agree with that team or not. Do you think a 5-back would be better? Because I don't want to see that anywhere near the pitch this season, unless it's like the last 5 minutes of a game and we're holding on to a lead or whatever. But get your thoughts in down below. Go grab your tickets for the Worrall shirt. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And stay tuned as we take you over to FFTV Premier League. And Ez is going to give you a huge hack on wildcards. The pros aren't even telling you about it. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.